Well, joining me now on the news at 10 to talk about the president's recent confirmation about the final crushing of Boko Haram militants is retired Brigadier General Olusegun Ajano. Good evening to you, sir, and thank you so much for joining me on the news at 10.
Good evening, thank you. Good evening,
so, it was a very hard fight, you must agree, but the military has triumphed. What do you make of this latest development?
What do I make of the significance of the military's victory? I would say congratulations first to Nigeria. Over and above that, military action on insurgency, it's nothing that anybody ever prays for. Now that we are rounding up the operation, I think it's a lot more encouraging, and I think it's a very cheering news to Nigerians. But over and above that, it is not yet time for us to relax.
That's what I was going to ask you next. So the soldiers should not be closing their eyes just yet, and the government should not be resting easy.
No.
What more should be done?
One, insurgency does not die in a single day. Over and above that, the insurgents were people we did not number. We did not know how many of them were involved. We only know that they are the wrong-headed Nigerians that went into this. How many of them, we really don't know. And over and above that, when this thing started, they recruited quite a number of young people as a result of what? We should be looking into that area. How did it, why was it possible for them to be able to get younger ones to join their ranks? And of course, a lot of the people that went about as suicide bombers were very young girls, and in fact, mostly girls. How they could have convinced this type of young ones to join their fold and carry out such nefarious activities is something that we should look at and in fact address very seriously. And I believe one of the things that led to that is poverty. It's an area that the state government, the local government should address. Young ones should not be allowed. We should not allow the situation where they become easily approachable for wrong-headed people who can influence them and who can use them wrongly.
What about for the military? This fight is a very long one, as I mentioned at the beginning of this conversation. And remember that the president said in December of last year that by December of this year, we'll make sure that the Boko Haram insurgents are crushed, and that's what's happened.
That's right.
But going forward, what should be the next move? What else should the Nigerian government be doing?
The Nigerian government would look at the causative areas. What led to the insurgents coming up, and to ensure that having highlighted those things, we ensure that such things do not develop.
What about for the military?
From the military. The military is a standard organization. The military will go back to barracks. Definitely. It is not when there is war that you practice to fight. No. The military goes back into its normal system of training and maintenance of equipments, probably better than what they were doing before the insurgency combat came up, because for a very long time we were not in battle. We were only going into overseas peacekeeping. But now that they'll be going back to barracks, a lot of things that were highlighted in this operation will definitely be addressed, and definitely we should come out better and stronger as an army.
Another thing that was also highlighted, this period is with the decimation of the Boko Haram stronghold. It was expected that the rest of the Chibok girls would be found, but no news on that. Okay. Where do you think the military will be looking next? Now,
it will not be just the military alone. In the first place, the 21 girls that were released earlier this year, we do not know how they were released. Were they brought from various locations? I think maybe by the time they interview those girls, we would probably have to know, we will know what exactly might have happened there. And I believe that should have been done by now. Over and above that, we have had rumors before that the girls were dispersed. They've been married off. They've been this, they've been that, and so on and so forth. Now that the battle is over, and from the news tonight that the last stronghold of Boko Haram has been captured, without the Chibok girls, it means the job is not yet over.
Retired Brigadier General Olusegun Ajano, thank you so much for sharing your perspectives with us on the News at 10.
Thank you.